What's up, guys? Trevor Madden here at Madden Outdoors. New year coming in here. We're getting to the tail end of January. Today is the 23rd. Just trying to get some new content out, and today our first video of the year is going to be an unboxing. We got a new package in from Euro Optic. This is something that I purchased. New product that it came out yesterday on the 22nd. I did cut the box open, but today we're just going to do a quick little unboxing and go over just some generalized basic stuff and see what we got here. So, open this up. We got the new Vortex Ace Ballistic Weather Meter. We're going to just kind of open this up, go through what comes in the box, stuff like that. First impressions on it, some clicks, how the buttons feel, screen use, all that kind of stuff. This isn't going to be anything really in-depth, just kind of a first impression. I paid for this with my own money. Down the road, we're going to do probably a comparison once I get some time behind this and using it and all, comparing it to what everybody knows as the Kestrel. Is kind of been the gold standard for a while, so curious how this stacks up to it, and never hurts to try something new. So let's get this thing opened up and see what they got in here. So here's the box. Open this up. Nice packaging as always from them. We have a past inspection card that is signed. As for everything that you get kind of with Vortex, that we all kind of know and love, is their VIP warranty. No matter what, they kind of take everything back and fix it. Sometimes you get new gear, I've heard. I've never had to use their warranty, luckily, but I know some people that have, and I've always heard good things. Everybody kind of knows that. That's what had kind of started my journey on Vortex for hunting optics and binoculars and stuff like that. Been using a handful of their products for a long time. So let's see what else we get in the box here. So this just gives you a quick little getting started, kind of how to use it, calibrate it, customizing it, downloading the apps, connecting it for their new relay system with their rangefinder and new binoculars. I believe that they're going to be coming out with a rangefinder too, so that'll be interesting. But let's pull this out. Unit definitely has some decent size to it, that's for sure. It's pretty wide. Doesn't feel overly heavy, but you know, the nice tan color that a lot of us like, some people hate. But so we got the unit, quick start guide. They do give us 2 AA batteries, Panasonics. We'll probably use this to get just the generalized today, and then I'll be throwing good old Duracells in there. I usually use Duracells for everything if I can. You get a lanyard and get a nice case, or a nice little cloth padded bag to store it in. Nice foam padding. That's it. That's all we got in the box. There's some stuff here on the back of the box. This just talks about their warranty. This is the unit. So this is your description. It's just it's an LCD display. It's got a 2-inch screen on it, which is a lot bigger than we know with the Kestrel units. It's 5.5 inches roughly up and down, 2.5 width, and it weighs 5.7 ounces. Then it gives you what's included, which we kind of just went through. So we're going to get these batteries thrown in here and get this unit installed. Have a nice little button here on the back that kind of locks this in. Get this open, get my knife out. So we got the batteries installed. Slide this up. So this has a nice cover here, which would be where your little wind thing is. I don't know the technical name for it, but this is what you'll use you'll flip this open when you're getting your winds. It's got nice little indents on here that keep it kind of stored from flopping all over the place. So we'll pop them open, slide them over. There's a button here. So from what I've seen, it looks like this will kind of undo a latch here, and this top piece will slide off. Obviously it's got your little connectors here to it. Down the road, maybe they'll have some different things that we can add on to this and use. Don't know, we'll see. They usually seem to come out with something. Even that, there'll be a pretty decent way if you have some problems, either something in here breaks or maybe you have some issues down the road. Might be a lot easier to buy a secondary headpiece here instead of having to replace the whole unit. But you never know. I'm sure there's some method that they had come up with to be in behind that. So we'll get this connected again and we'll power this up. So middle button powers it on. Nice click there, I would say. So here's our front screen. We're on the menu. First thing that comes up for 308 Winchester. I know it has I think there was 10 or 12 pre-used categories already kind of set that you can use. You can customize them in there and just kind of edit them or update your own stuff. But that's nice that you have some stuff already built in. Depending on what kind of weapon system you're using it with and your specifications on your platform, these might work out good for you, but it's nice that they're already on there as a starting point. But so we'll just click through. Buttons are pretty nice. Obviously they're units decent size, so definitely if you're running some gloves or anything like that, you definitely have some. I don't have overly big hands, wear a size medium glove. I would assume I'll throw a set of gloves on here actually real quick. I don't see why we would have a problem running this with gloves. Not that I could really say you would have a problem running something like a Kestrel or one of them with gloves, but definitely don't have a problem here hitting any of these buttons, that's for sure. Maybe it's a good thing, maybe it doesn't really matter, maybe it doesn't make a difference, but something to add note to. So we have our main menu, click there. It does have the little screen liner, so let's just pull that off now. So basically, like I said, it starts with a 308, so you click the middle button, your ballistics come up. Set to a 308 Winchester, 175 grain, 2600 feet a second with 100 yard zero. Generalized wind here's just set at a 90 degree coming from 3 o'clock, 5 miles an hour. Got your weather, compass. Obviously, as we rotate this, it is changing, which is pretty neat that that's picking up in my basement. It's not connected to any devices yet. Obviously, we're just kind of pulled this out of the box. It's not hooked up to my phone or anything like that. Your settings gives you the name. I believe that's the serial number on here also. Just here on the back on the sticker. I'm assuming that's going to change from unit to unit, or unless that's just their standard number for the unit itself. Sleep time set to 5 minutes on here right now, so if I'm not using it for 5 minutes, it'll turn off. Brightness settings at a 3. I'm going to say during daylight, this is at a 3 right now. Obviously, we have the lume cube here on us, but the lights are off down here. This screen's definitely plenty bright enough as it is. We could dim it down if we needed to, if you're doing some low light stuff or something like that, I'm sure, and I don't see why it wouldn't get big bright. So we'll actually go on here right now. So we're down to a 0. That's still fairly bright. I would assume if you're running something at night, that's most likely what you're going to be running it on, just to keep it low where it's not overly too bright. And then we go up to a 5. That's pretty bright. I don't see myself having a problem with that during the day. You can adjust the auto shut off. So we got 5 minutes, 10, 30, and always on, and 30 seconds. I don't know why you'd really run 30 seconds, but hey. So you got 30 seconds, a minute, 5 minutes, 10. Your units, we got standard, metric. Keep it on standard. You can adjust your color scheme to light or dark, which is pretty nice. We can adjust that to dark. I'll probably run it on this because I run the dark on my phone all the time and all that. I kind of like that a little bit better. So we're going to keep this actually at dark right now. Wind module's connected. We know that because this piece is attached here. And then there's a factory reset button. That's pretty cool. And then we can play Snake on here if you wanted to. Gives you the about. If you have any questions, call 1-800-4-VORTEX, which if you ever have any questions, they're more than happy to help out. If I've ever had any questions, just to get on the phone with them. Like I said, their customer service is great. Their warranty program's great. We'll go into the ballistics real quick. So shot details, this section includes target distance to 1,000 yards, gives you target direction, incline, velocity, energy, and your milliradians and all that. Gives you the profile. Like I said, it was for a 308. Gives you your bullet length, ballistic coefficient, your drag model, your sight height, and your barrel twist. And then you can adjust your calculators. There's a milling calculator. Do MRADs or MOA. You can do MOAs to inches, MRAD to inches, wind estimations. You can run a stopwatch on here, which is pretty nice. So we're going to back out here to the main menu. So there's a sensor hub. So this has your weather, your wind, and your sources. So your sources would be, you can adjust your weather source priority. So obviously we're running all this stuff right now off of this unit. So we'll keep that there. You can adjust your winds. You got 5 miles an hour, 10 miles an hour. 5's the low, 10's the high. You have your weather. Fahrenheit gives you your pressure, your humidity. Gives you the feel like out. I believe that's our altitude level in feet, and it gives us the dew point also. So that's pretty neat on the sensor hub. The mover, you can set up. I believe this is to set up a moving target, so you can adjust your yardage, what the lead, it'll give you what the lead is based off your wind and all that kind of stuff. And I believe it has a clock on here also. Yeah, so you can record the time and then enter the travel distance of the target, which is pretty neat. There's a simple version. This just gives you a basic simple layout. You can do the yardage. It'll give you your degrees, I believe, for the target. It'll give you your wind, or which direction you're facing. Then it'll give you your up and down and left to right hold off of the wind average, so your high and your low. There's an advanced dashboard, obviously that gives us some more stuff. Has the feet per second or foot-pounds for your target. You can adjust the target, wind, weather, profile, all that stuff here on the side. Same gives you your up, down, and your holds. Your wind, obviously you can do this. You'll update off of your last shot, which is pretty neat. Obviously the same gives you your up, down, gives you an average and a max based off how this is set up right now. And then we have the range card. So obviously you can set up to 10 targets, I believe it is. So we can set the yardage of the targets. Obviously it'll give us our up, down, left or right holds. You can name the card on here. You can clear the card once you're done. You can rename them, which is pretty neat. And then this is your generalized ballistic chart. So right now it's set to increments of 10. We can come in, you can do 10, 25, 50, 100. So that's pretty nice that you can tweak that if you want to. Back to our profile: caliber, weight, length, ballistic coefficient, drag, your height sight, the height of your sight, what your zero range is at, your barrel twist, muzzle velocity, and your sighting units, and then you can adjust them there. We're going to leave that standard for now. Sensor hub we went over, and then back to the menu. So this is just kind of generalized overview. I mean, I like that the screen's pretty big. First off, I said the buttons are nice and big. Don't have a problem hitting them with gloves or anything like that. The unit's definitely got some size to it, and some weight compared to kind of what else is out there at the moment. But this is something new, and I figured we'll give it a try and see if we like it. Obviously this doesn't run Applied Ballistics, this runs Vortex's Geo Ballistics. But if you're into the Vortex kind of hub already, obviously the relay you're not going to get, but if you're running Geo Ballistics on your phone, or you have been, obviously this will definitely be kind of the option for you. But so far I'm impressed. Like I said, this just had come out yesterday. I happened to see it come out in the morning. I went on, Euro had them. I've done a handful of business with them and get some good deals on some stuff. I believe this is MSRP'd at, I think it's $7.99 or $8.99. It seems like from what I found them on a couple different sites, they're selling for around $5.99. Is what kind of the street price is. I mean, we kind of, at least I think, and a lot of other people probably do, the MSRP is usually inflated a little bit versus what the street price of the stuff is from optics or anything. So for that price, it beats out some of the other Kestrel versions depending on what you're getting price wise. Now, Applied Ballistics versus Geo Ballistics, I'm not an expert on this topic. I'm just a guy that likes to shoot. So we'll probably get this out tomorrow, kind of get it set up and calibrated and all that. Try and get out to the range and run it a little bit, see how it is. And like I said, once I get some more time on it, we'll probably be doing a comparison video, a little more in-depth between this and the Kestrel 5700 Elite that I have. So it'll be pretty interesting to see how these two stack up against each other, just interface wise and stuff like that. Not comparing them with the laser rangefinders and stuff like that, just kind of unit for unit. None of the other things paired in together and stuff like that, like rangefinders, weapon mounted laser rangefinders, and all that technology stuff. Just going solely unit for unit, between the size of it, the weight of them, kind of how they use, and then how everything correlates kind of on the range. So overall, I'm pretty impressed. Definitely not upset with the purchase at this point, just off the initial impression, but haven't really used it yet, just giving a quick little rundown on here. So pretty interesting how we feel after using it on the first range day. We always have some hiccups. The long term will tell. I try to not use it once or twice and get upset with it, or sit here and go, oh, this thing's a piece of crap or whatever. But we'll get some use out of it and get some time behind it and stick it out and really try to get a good comparison from just a normal person perspective of this unit and how it stacks up to some other things. So hopefully you like the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We're going to try and get some more content coming in this year, just on some products, some gear, stuff like that. Try and get out and run some footage at some competitions this year. Not really Not expecting to do much pistol stuff this year. Most of it's going to be long range stuff. Some 22 PRS matches. Try and do some PRS matches and some gas gun, that kind of stuff. Solely, kind of swinging the foot over here, doing more what I enjoy to do and that kind of stuff going forward. So we'll see you on the next one.